Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be speaking today on ancient aliens. Ancient aliens or givers of knowledge. I've been seeing a lot, and a lot has been spoken about aliens or species or people or spirits, which is what they really are, who gave men certain, it's a dangerous word, strangely enough, I'm struggling, and I haven't even begun, who gave men knowledge on science, technology, and a whole host of other things. We know, or we generally tend to associate them with Egypt and the pyramids, but many of this place is very weird. Like nothing is as it appears. I'm supposed to go to the mountain today, but I do not know if I will make it because of this river. It feels like Egypt where I'm walking now. It's a normal road. There's nothing special about it, but the spirit here feels a lot like Egypt. So aliens. I've spoken about aliens before, and I've already spoken that these are demonic instruments or demonically charged spirits. Now, God has revealed it to me in confidence. 999. There's a house here with 999 on it. With confidence that there were spirits on earth that were keepers of knowledge. We know and we understand that not all societies in the Old Testament moved with God. We know that He particularly inclined His ear to the Hebrew people. But it was not to say that knowledge was not expanded throughout the earth and throughout the rest of civilization. Knowledge was there and it was given, and there were spirits in particular, which are the ones that are causing havoc nowadays. There were spirits that were assigned or given the responsibility to impart knowledge to people. These spirits we now know today as aliens, and I will explain to you why. Oh my, they're coming out now. And I'll explain to you why. So these spirits, just as the fallen angels were, the Lord is with me, is that God gave them responsibilities to teach, to impart, to guide, to help, because man was still at his infancy. He had not Raembra Seroda. He had not raised up to the place of the Spirit of God inside of him. He was still a child in his knowledge. This is man now. So God did impart or place spirits throughout the earth to help man or to guide man. Cerebro, there's just a scripture about it to say if a child has an inheritance, as long as he remains a child, there will be someone who will be a guardian or be placed to guard that seat until the child matures. So that is what these people don't like me here. These spirits were given for, that they will be placeholders, knowledge keepers, while man was still in his infancy and the Spirit was developing him into the image of God inside of him. Sarah. Merazi Predia. So, these aliens, as we know them today, were just spirits helping and teaching and guiding men. But just as the fallen angels were, these spirits began to rule over men, just as angels back in the days. And I was reading up or seeing the Nephilians, or the Nephil, whatever they are, the giants. Please excuse me. The giants, when the angels slept with men, and conceived giants. Similar to that, these spirits, these ancient aliens, with their knowledge, began to see themselves greater than the people they were supposed to be guiding over, and they tried to rule over them. They tried to rule over them. I don't think these words are scriptural, truth be told. So if you're listening to this and you're Bible-based and you don't see any reference to this, it's okay to switch off this particular, not all my videos, but just this particular video, because these are things I've seen in the Spirit, and I'm recording them according to the Spirit. So if the Spirit within you is denying these words or is not karazi, proner, kebroara, is not satisfied with the fact that there is not enough proof, that's okay. When I saw this, I was like, but this is not scriptural. And God said, speak about it. I'm not necessarily a person that has to stick to scriptures, because I see in the Spirit. Not to say that I'm always right, the yin and the yang on this door, and two liars. Not to say that I'm always right, but I'm a person who sees in the Spirit. I'm supposed to record those things. So, these spirits tried to rule over man because of the knowledge that they had, and man had not yet ascended to that seat. And I think at that time as well, you'll understand that when man was on earth in his fallen state, the devil was in a place of rulership. So they must have also had knowledge about the devil and the place that he was, and they would have known that in some element or another he was receiving worship. So they must have also envied that ability to be worshipped or to be seen as above. And so because they had all of this knowledge, which to some extent they did impart to people, a certain amount of it, I would assume even the pyramids, or not necessarily just the pyramids, things like Pythagoras and mathematics and sciences. And it even happens today, mind you. There's many people, and I've seen a video on it, that many of the mathematicians received many of their formulations and summations and conclusions in a dream. They just dreamt, these numbers came to them, and they just understood or knew how to interpret science or how to interpret maths and how to create these formulas. So those things do still happen today. So the evidence is there. There's actually even a person that created a movie based on that, not necessarily the mathematical side, but if you have seen the Avatar, the blue avatars, where man takes on a form of another creature and lives in that creature's place because they have assumed their body. Avatar, the man who wrote Avatar, said that he received all of that movie in a dream. He did not work for it. A spirit gave him the direction, and he received the dream, the script, the visuals, everything about it, and that's how he received the movie. So dreams to date still happen. People still receive information from it. So it is nothing new. There are people or spirits who are imparting knowledge to man even today. Even you, some of the places you've been, some of the things you've thought about, some of the writings you've had, some of the ministries and what, all of those things, there's an element of it that was given to you by a spirit. What you're supposed to discern is which spirit gave it to you. I need to rush. Which spirit is responsible for it? Is it God's spirit or is it another? Because we know there's other spirits on the earth. Please excuse me for 1 second. Zerea. If you know Zendaya, she's an actress. The way that she moves, Karimbre Ezea, the way that she moves is completely by a spirit. She doesn't own her body. And I've met many like that. There's a spirit in her. So any of her inspiration, any of her movies, anything that she is taken towards is because there's a spirit that is leading her. And the people that are receiving her also have a particular spirit, so they know how to guide her to the place where they all collectively need her to be, and to give the message that they have put inside of them, inside of her or in them, combined. Oh, this place is always heavy when I come here. Saramon Redea. So, ancient spirits do exist. Ancient knowledge is there. There are spirits even today still giving words, there's echoes here, and guidance. The problem is, once again, discernment. Who is giving the knowledge? Who is giving, if you can see in the distance, that is a mountain I'm going to. Hopefully I'll release a word up there as well. Who is giving the knowledge? Who is giving the knowledge? Is it God or is it another? Is it God or is it another? So ancient spirits did exist. We know them as aliens today, but they are fallen knowledge keepers and they are demonic. And I keep saying this to people. Any visions that you've had about aliens and what they've been doing, it's demonic. And I've already spoken about nations. There are even nations today, mind you, that have been built with the knowledge given by these spirits. And a lot of these societies have also fallen. Babylon is rising up. I'm hearing in the spirit. Babylon is rising up and it already has risen. Babylon is rising up and it already has risen. These spirits are giving man, and they are all tied to the beast if you already have concluded that it is truth. These spirits are giving man knowledge and guidance about things that they should not have knowledge about, because man has not yet even matured still to the place of godship. Even though I do speak on it a lot, the full knowledge of being a God and the image of God has not yet been imparted to man. We're still very young in our mind, in our thinking. And the spirits take advantage of that. Jesus himself was the only one who was able to ascend that level, but he taught us how to do it. You need the Spirit. You need the Spirit. You need the Spirit. And many of us are doing this without the Spirit, so these other spirits are taking over. So again, if you have any experience with aliens or anything of that, you need deliverance, because those spirits are demonic. Very demonic. Where I'm moving now, I'm about to be put in a place of Semara, Berondre, Serra, Kibron. Gatekeepers, which are your ancestors and descendants and all those things. So I'm going to release a word concerning that when I'm about to be at a T-junction. So when I change direction, the word is going to change. So ancient aliens, they were there. They're demonic. Stay away from those spirits. They're not from God. Be blessed.